Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Giving thanks and praise to the Holy One of Israel by saying hallelujah. Blessings, holy and everlasting name for allowing us to rise up this day with the breath of life. Singing praise into his holy and everlasting name. By saying hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Bless up, bless up, bless up, brothers and sisters. How we doing this amazing day, man? Giving thanks and praise to the Most High Yah, blessing us for another day giving. Hallelujah. Hope you had a wonderful and blessed and restful night. The Most High Yah has allowed you to lay down and rest and woke you up this day, refreshed and ready to take on the day, man. Hallelujah. Yahweh, Yahweh strong and mighty. All right, hallelujah. Yes, indeed. We are here, we are back, and we are ready. We're going to be reading out of 2 Chronicles chapter 7. No, 2 Chronicles chapter 8 is where we will start our reading. We will read about 10 chapters or until the hour has passed. And our goal is to read for at least 1 hour or 10 chapters. Praying that the mighty Yah be with my mouth, be with my tongue, enabling me and helping me to pronounce these words, being able to bring forth a clear and concise picture of what thus saith the mighty Yah. Hoping that praying that the Most High allow my voice and my words to come across clear and understanding. Hallelujah. And remember, I'm going to say it in the end also, coming up, this Sabbath day is the celebration of Yah. Yes, it's a celebration of Yah this Sabbath day. But we're just going to praise Yahweh, glorify his holy and everlasting name, letting the people know who Yahweh is, what Yahweh is, how to serve Yah, where to serve Yah, when to serve Yah, why to serve Yah. You know, and we're just going to cover all the bases to give Yah the praise and the glory due unto his holy and everlasting name on the day in which he first ordained and set aside, which was the Sabbath day. Praise the mighty Yah. So without any further ado, let's dive into the reading. We're reading 2 Chronicles chapter 8. And before we get started, let's wet the whistle. Hallelujah. And let us get into the read. Praise Yahweh. Oh, before I get started, this is my disclaimer. I'm gonna do my best to read this without any interruptions. I can't 100% guarantee that, mainly because when I get excited, I'm gonna say something about that verse. Hallelujah, hallelujah. Blessed morning, blessed morning, blessed morning. Hallelujah. And here we go. 2 Chronicles chapter 8, verse 1. Hallelujah. And it came to pass at the end of 20 years, when Solomon had built the house of Yahweh and his own house, that the city which Hiram had restored to Solomon, Solomon built them and caused the children of Israel to dwell there. And Solomon went to Hamath Zobah and prevailed against it. And he bit Tadmor in the wilderness and all the store cities, which he built in Hamath. Also he built Beth Horon, the upper, and Beth Horon, the nether, fenced cities with walls, gates, and bars, and Baal-Lah, and Baal-Ah, and all the store cities that Solomon had, and all the chariot cities, and the cities of the horsemen. and all that Solomon desired to build in Jerusalem and in Lebanon, and throughout all the land of his dominion. As for all the people that were left of the Hittites, and the Amorites, and the Perizzites, and the Hivites, and the Jebusites, which were not of Israel, but of their children, who were left after them in the land, whom the children of Israel consumed not, them did Solomon make to pay tribute until this day. But of the children of Israel did Solomon make no servants for his work, but they were men of war, and chief of his captains, and captains of his chariots and horsemen. And these were the chief of the kings. These were the chief of King Solomon's officers, even 250 that bear rule over the people. And Solomon brought up the daughter of Pharaoh out of the city of David unto the house that he had built for her. For he said, my wife shall not dwell in the house of David, king of Israel, because the places are holy, whereunto the ark of Yahweh have come. Then Solomon offered burnt offerings unto Yahweh on the altar of Yahweh, which he had built before the porch, even after a certain rate every day, offering according to the commandments of Moses, on the Sabbaths and on the new moons. This right here is a running event that took place all the time, on the Sabbaths, on the new moons, and on the solemn feasts, 3 times in the year, even in the feast of unleavened bread, in the feast of weeks, and in the feast of tabernacles. Hallelujah. 3 times a year must the children of Israel appear unto the Most High, all males. And he appointed according to the order of David his father the courses of the priests to their service, and the Levites to their charges, to praise and minister before the priest, as the duty of every day required. The plotters also by their courses at every gate, for so had David the man of Elohim commanded. And they departed not from the commandments of the king unto the priest, and they departed not from the commandment of the king until the priests and the Levites concerning any matter or concerning the treasures. Now all the work of Solomon progressed from the day of the foundation of the house of Yahweh and until it was finished. So the house of Yahweh was perfect. Then went Solomon to Ezon-Geber at the Eloh, at the seaside in the land of Edom. And Haram sent him by the hands of his servants, ships, and servants that had knowledge of the sea. And they went with the servants of Solomon. And they went with the servants of Solomon. Verse 18. And Haram sent him by the hands of his servants, ships, and servants that had knowledge of the sea. And they went with the servants of Solomon to Ophir, and took thence 450 talents of gold, and brought them to King Solomon. Hallelujah. Oh man, that felt good. Chapter 9, hallelujah. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon, she came to prove Solomon with hard questions at Jerusalem. And with a very quick, okay, here we go. Now, we're talking about Queen Sheba again. Let's see, because last time when we read in 2 Kings, it told us that were not the rest of the acts of Solomon recorded in the Chronicles. So now we're reading the Chronicles and we're reading the acts that took place with Queen Sheba. Let's see if Solomon and Queen Sheba got busy and then produced a child when she later went back to Ethiopia. And from that bloodline of that child grew up, and from that bloodline, then come Haile Selassie to sit on the throne. But they don't really know the history of Selassie because he was a part of a coup with the European. Let me stop. Let's get into chapter 9. That's too much history. Let's get into chapter 9 and let's see what happens with Solomon and Sheba, because that's the question. Praise Yah, hallelujah. Chapter 9, 2 Chronicles, verse 1. And when the queen of Sheba heard of the fame of Solomon, she came to prove Solomon with hard questions at Jerusalem, with a very great company, and camels that bear spices, and gold in abundance, precious stones. And when she was come to Solomon, she communed with him of all that was in her heart. And Solomon answered all her questions, and there was nothing hid from Solomon which he told her not. And when the queen of Sheba had seen the wisdom of Solomon, and the house that he had built, and the food of his table, and the discipline of his servants, and the attendance of his ministers and their apparel, his cupbearers also in their apparel, and his accent by which he went up into the house of Yahweh, there was no more spirit in her. And she said to the king, it was a true report which I heard in my own land of thy acts and of thy wisdom. Howbeit I believe not their words until I come, and my eyes have seen it. And behold, the one half of the greatness of thy wisdom was not told me, for thou exceedest the fame that I heard. Happy are the men. Love you. See you later. Taking an umbrella. Happy are the verse 7. Happy are the men. Happy are these thy servants, which stand continually before thee, and hear thy wisdom. Blessed be Yahweh thy Elohim, which delighted in thee to set thee on his throne, to be king over to be king for Yahweh thy Elohim, because thy Elohim loved Israel, to establish them forever. Therefore made he thee king over them to do judgment and justice. And she gave the king 120 talents of gold, and of spices, great abundance, and precious stones. Neither was there any such spices as the queen of Sheba gave King Solomon. And the servants also of Haran, and the servants of Solomon, which brought gold from Ophir, brought algom trees and precious stones. And the king made of the algom trees terraces to the house of Yahweh, and to the king's palace, and harps and psalteries for singers. And there were none such seen before in the land of Judah. And King Solomon gave to the queen of Sheba all her desire, whatsoever she asked, besides, and return for that which she had been, and return for that which she had brought unto the king. So she turned and went away to her own land, she and her servants. Hallelujah. And here we confirm a second time that the queen of Sheba, all of her desires, whatsoever she asked. So y'all might want to take that and run with that. It might say, yep, see, it said whatever she asked, so she probably asked to sleep with him. Yeah, that's called reaching. and changing what does say the word. Because the word say, whatever she asked besides in return for that which she had brought unto the king, so she turned and went away to her own land, she and her servants. So therefore, nothing in here says that Yahweh laid down with Queen Sheba and they had a son. It don't say none of that. It don't say King David laid down with Queen Sheba and they made Solomon. It don't say none of that. I don't understand where that come from. I don't understand where they got it from. All I understand is what we're reading right here, and it doesn't say that at all. So praise the mighty Yah. Hallelujah. Now maybe you might got a book that I don't got. And maybe in your book that you got, that's what it say. Like I know a lot of people like to read the Saphir, the book of Jubilee, the book of Enoch, the Nagibas, Nagas, you know what I'm saying, the book of the dead. You know, I understand that, but according to the holy scriptures of what does say Yahweh, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and the recounts of the stories of the kings of Israel, and I hold no water over here, player. Give praise to the Most High, Yah, hallelujah. And this is one of the reasons why we read. We read to gain understanding, knowledge, and wisdom. We read so that we know what the stories are. So when people recite those stories and bring them up and say something other than what's in the story, we know what it says. And therefore, we know not to be we know not to put too much to it. You know, not to let that get underneath our skin, because we understand and know they don't really know what they're talking about. They heard somebody else say that and they just repeat it. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. We are in 2 Chronicles chapter 9, verse 13. Now the weight of the gold that came to Solomon in 1 year was 603 score and 6 talents of gold. Besides that which traveling salesmen and merchants brought, and all the kings of Arabia and governors of the country brought gold and silver to Solomon. And King Solomon made 200 talents of beaten gold. 600 shekels of beaten gold went to one target, and 300 shekels made he of beaten gold. 300 shekels of gold went to one shield, and the king put them in the house of the forest of Lebanon. Moreover, the king made a great throne of ivory and overlaid it with pure gold. And there were 6 steps to the throne with the footstool of gold, which were fastened to the throne, and stays of each side of the city place, and 2 lions standing by the stays. And 12 lions stood there on the one side, and on the other side, the 6 steps. There was not the like made in any kingdom. And all the drinking vessels of King Solomon were of gold, and all the vessels of the house of the forest of Lebanon were of pure gold. None were of silver. It was not anything accounted of in the days of Solomon. For the king's ships went to Tarshish with the servants of Haran. Once every 3 years came the ships of Tarshish, bringing gold and silver, ivory and apes and peacocks. And King Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and in wisdom. Hallelujah. First, I like this up here. Where is it? Here it go. And the 12 lions stood about. I like that. And then it says, for King Solomon passed all the kings of the earth in riches and in wisdom. Now, many say that what was his name? I think it was Methuselah. I'm about to come back to that. I'm about to go look and see. But praise the mighty Yah. I think it was Methuselah, the richest man on earth, from Babylon to Timbuktu. I think that's what it was. And all the kings of the earth sought the presence of Solomon to hear his wisdom that Elohim had put in his heart. And they brought every man his presents, vessels of silver and vessels of gold and raiment, harness and spices, horses and mules, a rate year by year. And Solomon had 4,000 stalls for horses and chariots, 12,000 horsemen, whom he bestowed in the chariot cities, and with the king of Jerusalem. And he reigned over all the kings from the river even unto the land of the Philistines and to the border of Egypt. And the king made silver in Jerusalem as stones, and cedar trees made he as the sycamore trees that are in the low plains in abundance. And they brought unto Solomon horses out of Egypt and out of all lands. Now the rest of the acts of Solomon, first and last, are they not written in the book of Nathan, the prophet, in the prophecy of Ahijah, the Shilomite, and in the visions of Edu, the seer, against Jeroboam, the son of Nebat. And Solomon reigned in Jerusalem over all Israel 40 years. And Solomon slept with his fathers. And he was buried in the city of David his father, and Rehoboam his son reigned in his stead. Hallelujah. And that right there, that in itself destroys this myth about Haile Selassie being, well, you know what? He very well could be a son of Solomon. And you know why I say that, though? Because it says Solomon had over 1,000 wives and mass children. So maybe, that's hard to prove. But it names who Solomon mama is. And it names who Rehoboam mama is. And that's when the kingdom was stripped in two and ain't never been back together as one. When Jeroboam became king, Yahweh stripped the kingdom away from him and broke the kingdom in half to where 10, not even half, where the children of Israel were under the hand of Jeroboam and the tribes of David, and some of Benjamin and some of Levi were under the hand of Rehoboam. And the tribes had never been put back together since. So praise the mighty Yah. Chapter 10. And Rehoboam with the Shechem, for to Shechem where all Israel come to make him king. And it came to pass when Jeroboam the son of Nebat, who was in Egypt, whether he had fled from the presence of Solomon the king, heard it, that Jeroboam returned out of Egypt. And they sent and called him. So Jeroboam and all Israel came and spake to Rehoboam, saying, Thy father made our yoke grievous. Now therefore ease thou somewhat the grievous servitude of thy father, and his heavy yoke that he put upon us, and we will serve thee. And he said unto them, Come again unto me after 3 days. And the people departed. And King Rehoboam, that's why you look, and King Rehoboam took counsel with the old men. And they stood before Solomon his father while he yet lived, saying, What counsel give ye me to return answer to this people? And they spake unto him, saying, If thou be kind to this people, and please them, and speak good words to them, they will be thy servants forever. That's righteous counsel from elders who've been giving counsel to the king longer than you've been alive. But you forsook their counsel, which the old men gave him, because they was old men. and took counsel with his buddies, the young men that were brought up with him, that stood before him. And he said unto them, what advice give ye, that we may return answer to this people, which have spoken to me, saying, ease somewhat the yoke that thy father did put upon us. And the young men that were brought up with him spake unto him, saying, thus shalt thou answer the people that spake unto thee, saying, thy father made our yoke heavy, but make thou it somewhat lighter for us. Thus shalt thou say unto them, my little finger shall be thicker than my father's loins. For whereas my father put a heavy yoke upon you, I will put more to your yoke. My father chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. Horrible advice. So Jeroboam and all the people came to Rehoboam on the third day. And the king bade, saying, come again to me on the third day. And the king answered them roughly. And King Rehoboam forsook the counsel of the old men, and answered them after the advice of the young men, saying, my father made your yoke heavy, but I will add thereto. My father chastened you with whips, but I will chasten you with scorpions. So the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was of Elohim, that Yahweh might perform his word. Hallelujah. See, sometimes things that you think don't happen just don't happen. And it ain't because you didn't want it to happen. Sometimes it ain't in your power. Because it's Elohim doing something, making something move, making something work. Just as we see right here. This is to fulfill the word which you spoke to Solomon. So the king hearkened not unto the people, for the cause was of Elohim, that Yahweh might perform his word, which he spake by the hand of Ahiah the Shilonite to Jeroboam the son of Nebat. And when all Israel saw that the king would not hearken unto them, the people answered the king, saying, what portion have we in David? And we have none inheritance in the son of Jesse. Every man to your tents, O Israel. And now, David, see to thy own house. So all Israel went to their tents. But as for the children of Israel that dwelt in the cities of Judah, Rehoboam reigned over them. Then King Rehoboam sent Hadoram, that was over the tribute of the children of Israel. That was over the tribute, and the children of Israel stoned him with stones, that he died. But King Rehoboam made speed to get him up to his chariot. Get him up to his chariots to flee to Jerusalem. And Israel rebelled against the house of David until this day. Until this day. All why? Because Yahweh wanted to perform his word. But also, not only because Yahweh wanted to perform his word, and that's how Yahweh's word was to get performed, was by Solomon taking counsel of the young men. But praise the mighty Yah, chapter 11. We are a half hour in. And Rehoboam was come to Jerusalem. He gathered of the house of Judah and Benjamin 180,000 chosen men, which were warriors to fight against Israel, that he might bring the kingdom again to Rehoboam. But the word of Yahweh came to Shemaiah, the man of Elohim, saying, speak unto Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, king of Judah, and to all Israel and Judah and Benjamin, saying, thus saith Yahweh, ye shall not go up, nor fight against your brethren. Return every man to his house, for this thing is done of me. And they obeyed the words of Yahweh, and returned from going against Jeroboam. And Rehoboam dwelt in Jerusalem and built cities for defense in Judah. And he built even Bethlehem, and Etam, and Tekoa, and Bezur, and Soko, and Adullam, and Gad, and Marashah, and Ziph, and Adorim, and Lachish, and Azekah, and Zorah, and Ajalon, and Hebron, which are in Judah and in Benjamin fenced cities. And he fortified the strongholds and put captains in them, and store of victuals, and of oil and wine. And in every several city he put shields and spears, and made them exceeding strong, having Judah and Benjamin on his side. And the priests and the Levites that were in all Israel resorted to him out of all their coasts. For the Levites left their suburbs and their possessions and came to Judah and Jerusalem. For Jeroboam and his sons had cast them off from executing the priest's office unto Yahweh. Woo! So here we go. Jeroboam already doing wicked. He already performing wicked acts. He already sending the children of Israel backwards. He won't even let the Levites perform their duty. And he ordained him priests for the shrines and for devils and for the calves which he had made. And this right here, brothers and sisters, is the fall of Jeroboam, disrespectful man to the Most High Yah. For he caused the children of Israel to go backwards. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to see Yahweh Elohim, such as sought their heart to seek Yahweh thy Elohim. Yeah, let's hit this up. Yahweh show. And after them, out of all the tribes of Israel, such as set their hearts to seek Yahweh Elohim of Israel, came to Jerusalem to sacrifice unto Yahweh Elohim of their fathers. See, everyone that seek unto Yah, they go looking for Yah. You can't seek Yah and not look for him. Hallelujah. So they strengthened the kingdom of Judah and made Rehoboam the son of Solomon strong 3 years. For 3 years they walked in the way of David and Solomon. Hallelujah. And Rehoboam took him HALLELYAH, the daughter of Jeremiah, the son of David, to wife, and Abihail, the daughter of Eliab, the son of Jesse, which bare him children of Yahush and Shemariah, and Shemariah and Zaham. And after her he took Maksha, the daughter of Absalom? Yep, the daughter of Absalom, which bare him Abijah, and Attai, and Zizah, and Shelomith. And Rehoboam loved Masha, the daughter of Absalom, above all his wives and his concubines. For he took 18 wives and 80 concubines, and begot 28 sons and 80 daughters. My goodness. And Rehoboam made Abijah, the son of Makshi, the chief, to be ruler among his brethren. And he thought to make him king. And he dealt wisely and dispersed of all his children throughout all the countries of Judah and Benjamin unto every fenced city. And he gave them victuals in abundance, and he desired many wives. He took right after his daddy, desiring many wives. And Yahweh said he should not add unto these wives. Chapter 12, hallelujah. And it came to pass, when Rehoboam had established the kingdom and had strengthened himself, he was, here we go. And how did Rehoboam forsook the law? It said he forsook the law of Yahweh and all Israel with him. And it came to pass that in the 5th year of King Rehoboam, CH8, king of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem because they had transgressed against Yahweh with 1,200 chariots and 3,000 horsemen. And the people were without number that came with him out of Egypt, the Lumbines, the Sukanims, and the Ethiopians. And he took the fenced cities which pertained to Judah and came to Jerusalem. And then came Shemaiah, the prophet of Rehoboam, and to the princes of Judah that were gathered together to Jerusalem because of CH8, and said unto them, Thus saith Yahweh, ye have forsaken me, and therefore have I also left you in the hand of CH8. Whereupon the princes of Israel and the king humbled themselves, and they said, Yahweh is righteous. And when Yahweh saw, again, Yahweh is always watching. And it says, and when Yahweh saw that they humbled themselves, the word of Yahweh came unto Shemaiah, saying, they have humbled themselves, therefore I will not destroy them, but I will grant them some deliverance. And my wrath shall not be poured out upon Jerusalem by the hand of CH8. Nevertheless, they shall be his servants, that they may know my service and the service of the kingdoms of the countries. So CH8, king of Egypt, came up against Jerusalem and took away the treasures of the house of Yahweh and the treasures of the king's house. He took all. He carried away also the shield of gold which Solomon had made, instead of which King Rehoboam made shields of brass and committed them to the hands of the chief of the guard that kept the entrance of the king's house. And when the king entered into the house of Yahweh, the guard came and fetched them and brought them again into the guard chamber. And when he humbled himself, the wrath of Yahweh turned from him, and he would not destroy him altogether. And also in Judah things went well. So King Rehoboam strengthened himself in Jerusalem and reigned. For Rehoboam was 140 years old when he began to reign. He was 41 years old. And he reigned 17 years in Jerusalem, the city which Yahweh had chosen out of all the tribes of Israel to put his name there. And his mother's name was Naamah and Ammonitis. So here we find out that Rehoboam is not of the seed of Sheba, nor the Ethiopians. For Queen Sheba was an Ethiopian. And here here in this very chapter, we just read about the Ethiopians joining up with the king of Egypt to come against the house of Yah, to become and destroy. And they took away everything out of the king's treasure house that was gold, and out of the Yahweh house that was gold. And here in verse 13, it says that Rehoboam, his mother's name was Naamah and Ammonitis, and he did evil because he prepared not his heart to seek Yahweh. Now the acts of Rehoboam, first and last, are they not written in the book of Shemaiah the prophet and of Iddo the seer concerning genealogies? And there were wars between Rehoboam and Jeroboam continually. And Rehoboam slept with his fathers and was buried in the city of David. And Abijah, his son, reigned in his stead. Hallelujah. Chapter 13. Now in the 18th year of King Jeroboam began Abijah to reign over Judah. He reigned 3 years in Jerusalem. His mother's name also was Micaiah, the daughter of Uriel of Gibeah. And there was war between Abijah and Jeroboam. And Abijah set the battle in array with an army of valiant men of war, even 400,000 chosen men. Jeroboam also set the battle in array against him with 800,000 chosen men, being mighty men of valor. And Abijah stood up upon Mount Zemaraim, which is in Mount Ephraim, and said, Hear me, thou Jeroboam, and all Israel. Ought ye not to know? Ooh, he about to talk some smack to them. He about to talk some smack to them. He said, Ought ye not to know that Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, gave the kingdom over to David forever, even to him and to his sons, by a covenant assault? Woo! And what Jeroboam say? Yet Jeroboam, the son of Nebat, the servant of Solomon, the son of David, is risen up and have rebelled against his master. And there are gathered unto him vain men, the children of Belial, and have strengthened themselves against Rehoboam, the son of Solomon, when Rehoboam was young and tender-hearted and could not withstand them. And now you think to withstand the kingdom of Yahweh in the hand of his sons of David? And ye be a great multitude, and there are with you golden calves, which Jeroboam made you for idols? Have you not cast out the priests of Yahweh, the sons of Aaron and the Levites, and have made you priests after the manner of the nations of other lands, so that whosoever cometh to consecrate himself with the young bullock and 7 rams, the same may be a priest of them that are idols? But as for us, Yahweh is our Elohim, and we have not forsaken him. And the priests which minister unto Yahweh are the sons of Aaron, and the Levites wait upon their business. And they burn unto Yahweh every morning and every evening burnt sacrifices and sweet incense. The showbread also set they in order upon a pure table, and the candlesticks of gold with the lamps thereof to burn every evening. For we keep the charge of Yahweh our Elohim, but ye have forsaken him. And behold, Elohim himself is with us for our captain, and his priests with sounding trumpets, to carry alarm against you, O children of Israel. Fight ye not against Yahweh the Elohim of your fathers, for ye shall not prosper. For Jeroboam caused an ambushment to come about behind them. So they were before Judah, and the ambushment was behind them. And when Judah looked back, behold, the battle was before and behind. And they cried unto Yahweh, and the priests sounded with trumpets. Then the men of Judah gave a shout. And as the men of Judah shouted, it came to pass that Elohim smote Jeroboam and all Israel before Abijah and Judah. And the children of Israel fled before Judah, and Elohim delivered them into their hand. And Abijah and his people slew them with a great slaughter. So there fell down slain of Israel 500,000 chosen men. Thus the children of Israel were brought under at that time, and the children of Judah prevailed, because they relied upon Yahweh, the Elohim of their fathers. And Abijah pursued after Jeroboam, and took cities from him, Bethel with the towns thereof, and Yesanah with the towns thereof, and Ephraim with the towns thereof. Neither did Jeroboam recover strength again in the days of Abijah, And Yahweh struck him, and he died. But Abijah waxed mighty and married 14 wives and begot 22 sons and 16 daughters. And the rest of the acts of Abijah and his ways and his sayings are written in the story of the prophet Edu. Hallelujah. Chapter 14. So Abijah slept with his fathers, and they buried him in the city of David. And Asa, his son, reigned in his stead. In his days, the land was quiet 10 years. Hallelujah. And Asa did that which was good and right in the eyes of Yahweh, his Elohim. Great job, Asa. For he took away the altars of the idols and the high places, and brake down the images, and cut down the sacred poles, and commanded Judah to seek Yahweh, the Elohim of their fathers, and to do the law and the commandments, because that is the custom when you seek in Yah. But just like in Yahweh prayer, just like in Solomon prayer, when he asked them to look upon this house, when he asked them and said unto them, and said unto Yah, when your enemy has taken us away into a land near or far, and we bethink ourselves to be in the land of our captivity, if we would turn from our wicked ways, if we would humble ourselves, if we would seek Yahweh, the Elohim of our fathers, and do his commandments, then Yahweh said he will hear from heaven and heal our land. But too many of y'all don't want to leave these idols that you done picked up. You don't want to serve Yahweh, the Elohim of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. You don't want to serve the God that created the heaven, the earth, and the sea. Instead, you want to serve other gods, other idols, other things. You want to praise Christ of the New Testament as the true and living Elohim, or the Son that's by the Yahweh's right hand, or you want to praise something that they call Yahweh HaMashiach, or whatever name they're trying to give Christ of the New Testament. But instead, you don't want to praise Yah, the Father, the Elohim. And this is what this reading is all about. It's about restoring unto you what thus saith Yah, so you can return back unto Yah. Just like Solomon said, if you bethink yourself in the land of your captivity, and that's a whole bunch of y'all, because y'all running around talking, yeah, we in the land of our captivity. This is our enemy land. We amongst all the Gentiles in our enemy's land. But yet and still you won't return back to Yah. But you'll go around and say, oh, you can't keep the Sabbath in this land. This land is polluted. Oh, you can't keep the laws of Yahweh in this land, but he gonna give us a pure language. Oh, you can't follow Yahweh commandment in this land because he gonna return us back to the wilderness, everybody, and then we're gonna be able to serve Yahweh. Man, that's not what was said, brother, sister. It said, those that seek Yahweh, the Elohim of their fathers, if they humble themselves, if they turn from their wicked ways, if they even bethink to be in the land of their enemy, then return back unto Yah, seek Yahweh, and do his commandments. Hallelujah. That's what Yahweh said. Verse 5. We in 2 Chronicles chapter 14, verse 5. My nose is allergies kicking my butt. Also, he took away out of all the cities of Judah the shrines and the sun images, and the kingdom was quiet before him. And he built fenced cities in Judah, for the land had rest, and he had no war in those years, because Yahweh had given him rest. Hallelujah. Man, hallelujah. See, and that's what Yahweh say. He want to give us rest. Verse 7, therefore he said unto Judah, let us build these cities and make about them walls and towers, gates and bars, while the land is yet before us, because we have sought Yahweh our Elohim, we have sought him, and he have given us rest on every side. So they built and prospered. Because one thing is true, when you have peace, you're supposed to build and you're supposed to prepare. All right. So you living in your life right now and you ain't got no problems. All your bills is paid. You know, you ain't having a whole lot of stress. This is the time you should be putting up abundantly. You should be putting up abundantly. If you find yourself in one of them jobs where you like, man, I ain't had a job like this. This is abundance. Man, then you need to be putting up abundantly. Take advantage of the opportunity, save you some money, take advantage of the rest in which Yahweh is giving you so that you can build and grow. Hallelujah. Verse 8, and Asa had an army of men that bare targets and spears out of Judah 300,000, and out of Benjamin that bare shields and drew bows 280,000. All these were mighty men of valor. And there came out against them Zerah the Ethiopian. Oh, here come another Ethiopian. Now, you notice we starting to hear about these Ethiopians. They coming now. The Ethiopian is coming. So the Ethiopians know who the Hebrews are. They know who the children of Yahweh are. They know. Their history show it. And there came out against him Zerah, the Ethiopian, with the host of 1,000,000 and 300 chariots, and came unto Mareshah. Then Asa went out against him, and they set the battle in array in the valley of Zephathah at Mareshah. And Asa cried unto Yahweh his Elohim, and said, Yahweh, it is nothing with thee to help, whether with many or with them that have no power. Help us, O Yahweh our Elohim, for we rest on thee, and in thy name we go against this multitude. O Yahweh, thou art Elohim. Let not man prevail against us. Hallelujah. Y'all see that? That's a nice short prayer to say. And so Yahweh smote the Ethiopians before Asa and before Judah. And the Ethiopians fled. They came with 1,000 thousands. How can two put 1,000 to flight? Come on. Have not their Elohim be with them? And if it worked the other way around, it's because they have forsaken their Elohim. So Yahweh smote the Ethiopians before Asa and before Judah. And the Ethiopians fled. And Asa and the people that were with him pursued them unto Gerar. And the Ethiopians were overthrown, that they could not recover themselves, for they were destroyed before Yahweh and before his host, and they carried away very much spoil. And they smote all the cities round about Gerar, for the fear of Yahweh came upon them, and they spoiled all the cities, for there was exceeding much spoil. For there were exceeding much spoil in them. They smote all the tents of the cattle, and carried away sheep, camels in abundance, and returned to Jerusalem. Hallelujah. All right, good call. We are 54 minutes in. Praise the mighty Yah. And we got one chapter left. Chapter 15. Praise the mighty Yah. And this will be the last chapter that we read for this day. And we will continue again tomorrow. But I want to thank you all for joining me thus far as we go into the... Now, who is this? Oh, hold on, y'all. This is the son calling. Bless up, son. Hold on. in the middle of my read. What's going on, son? Man. Man. He gonna stick. All right. All right, now I would say call her. You got her number, call her. I'll do see what I can do after I get off of this, after I get off of this webs, after I get off of live. All right? All right. Man. And I ain't that good at working this stuff, so I had to let everything run its course. I'm sorry about that interruption, brothers and sisters. All right, sorry about that. But let us continue on with chapter 15. Grandsons, man. And the spirit of Elohim came upon Azariah, the son of Obed, and he went out to meet Asa, and said unto him, Hear me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. Yahweh is with you, while he be with him. And if ye seek him, he will be found of you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. Now, for how long season, Israel, have been with now for a long season? Hallelujah. Let's read that over, man. Praise the mighty Yah. 2nd Chronicles chapter 15. And the spirit of Elohim came upon Azariah, the son of Obed, and he went out to meet Asa, and said unto him, Hear ye me, Asa, and all Judah and Benjamin. Yahweh is with you, while ye be with him. And if you seek him, he will be found of you. But if you forsake him, he will forsake you. Now for a long season, Israel have been without a true Elohim, have been without the true Elohim, and without the teaching priest, and without law. But when they in their trouble did turn unto Yahweh the Elohim of Israel and sought him, he was found of them. Hallelujah. And you know, I'm going to say this because this is in my heart and I believe this to the core of my bones, man. For me, I ain't going to say for everybody. I can only say for me. But this right here, it's a verse 3. Now for a long season, Israel have been without the true Elohim, and without a teaching priest, and without the law. Praise the mighty Yah for Moriah Elisha ben Israel. For I call to this very day the teaching prophet, the teaching priest of the mighty Yah. Because it was Moriah Elisha that brought forth a lot of this knowledge, truth, and understanding that helped a whole lot of people understand some things. Day and night, new moon, you know what I'm saying? David the Messiah. A whole lot of understanding came from this man. A great man he was. Moriah Elisha ben Israel, to the day I die. I don't care what nobody got to say. Because my story ain't like everybody else's story. I prayed unto the Most High Yah. And the Most High Yah showed me one man and one house that I needed to get to. And he showed me that man 3 times before I made it to the House of Israel Hebrew Cultural Center on 1664 California Avenue. And I praise Yahweh to this day for my teacher, Moriah Elisha ben Israel, because he taught, brothers and sisters. I ain't never met a man that taught the Bible like that. And when I was seeking Yah hard and really truly trying to learn what thus said the mighty Yah, man, Yahweh revealed himself to me and showed me this man, Moriah Elisha Israel. Here come my other son calling. Man, it is drama going on in the city today, man. Hold on 1 minute. Let me grab this call. Oh my goodness, sons. What's good, son? Wayne just called me. I haven't talked to the school yet. They ain't called me yet, but Wayne called me. and told me what's going down. So I call S and see what's going on where. All right. Well, ain't nothing we can do about that then. We just have to wait and see. We'll get hold on him this weekend. I'll give her a call. I might have sent it to you the wrong way. All right. Oh, she must ain't got no internet. She ain't got no internet. Yeah. Yep. It probably is. Okay. All right. I'll do what I can do when I get off my live. Okay. All right. Hallelujah. Shalom. Man. Yeah, these the mornings I don't like right here, boy. These be the mornings I can't stand. Everything happening, everything moving. But praise the mighty Yah. Let's get through this. I got stuff to go do now. Okay, we 8:20. I'm way past our time. All right, let's finish this out. Praise the mighty Yah. And in those times, verse 5, where we picking up at, chapter 15, 2nd Chronicles. And in those times, there was no peace to him that went out, nor to him that came in, but great vexation were upon all the inhabitants of the countries. And nations were destroyed of nation, and city of city. For Elohim did vex them with all adversity. Be ye strong, therefore, and let not your hands be weak, for your work shall be rewarded. And when Asa heard these words and the prophecy of Obed the prophet, he took courage and put away the abominable idols out of all the land of Judah and Benjamin, and out of the cities which he had taken from Mount Ephraim, and renewed the altar of Yahweh that was before the porch of Yahweh. And he gathered all Judah and Benjamin, and the strangers with them out of Ephraim and Manasseh, and out of Simeon, for they fell to him out of Israel in abundance, when they saw that Yahweh his Elohim was with him. So they gathered themselves together at Jerusalem in the 3rd month, in the 5th year of the reign of Asa, and they offered unto Yahweh the same time of the spoil which they had brought, 700 oxen and 7,000 sheep. And they entered into a covenant to seek Yahweh, the Elohim of their fathers, with all their heart and with all their soul. But this is the only way you can go to Yah. Y'all don't want nothing half-cocked and nothing that you ain't willing to give. Yahweh don't want it. You can keep it. When Yahweh say they entered into a covenant to seek Yahweh, the Elohim of their fathers, with all their heart and with all their soul, that whosoever would not seek Yahweh, the Elohim of Israel, should be put to death, whether small or great, whether man or woman. And they swore unto Yahweh with a loud voice, and with shouting, and with trumpets, and with cornets. And all Judah rejoiced at the oath, for they had sworn with all their heart and sought him with their whole desire. And he was found of them, and Yahweh gave them rest round about. And also concerning Mashal, the mother of Asa, the king, he removed her from being queen, because she had made scandalous images of the sacred poles. Asa cut down her scandalous image and stamped it and burnt it in the brook Kidron. But the high places were not taken away out of Israel. Nevertheless, the heart of Asa was perfect all his days. Hallelujah. Say the heart of Asa was perfect all his days. And he brought into the house of Elohim the things his father had dedicated, and that he himself had dedicated, silver and gold and vessels. And there was no more war until the 35th year of the reign of Asa. Hallelujah. Praise the mighty Yah. Hallelujah. 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 We have finished chapter 15. We are an hour and 4 minutes in. Praise the mighty Yah. Whew, what a read. Sorry for the interruptions, beautiful brothers and sisters. But you know, I got a grandson out here that just wanna be. I guess he like being rebellious. We're gonna call it what it is. So we gotta probably go deal with him, find him and deal with him. But hey, you ask and you shall receive. That's the word of Yah. You ask and you shall receive if you seek it with your whole heart. Except grandson sought violence. He rather run out of school instead of being in school, and that's gonna cost you some stripes. So praise the mighty Yah. I pray that Yah bless this read. I pray that you got a clear understanding reading, clear hearing, and I was able to bring forth a clear message of what thus saith Yah. I pray that you had a wonderful and blessed day today, that the Most High Yah be with you. So in those words, I bid you shalom, and remember, be kind, be safe. You never know who that person is that you talking to that may be that same person that's going to help you out of a situation or help you with a situation. You never know. So be kind to everyone. For all you know, you could be entertaining an angel, or you could be entertaining a family member, or you could just be entertaining someone that was going to be able to come to your aid one day. You never know who you're entertaining out there, brothers and sisters. So choose kindness over all. You know what I'm saying? Show love over all. And praise the Most High Yah. And remember, if don't nobody love you, Yahweh love you. And your brother Hayaka, I love you too. Be safe, guidance and protection. Hallelujah. Till we see each other again. And remember, celebration of Yah, May the 23rd, is going down, brothers and sisters. We starting at 11 o'clock. The address is 9910 Reading Road. Everything is in the description. So look down, look it up, and I hope to see you there. Praise the mighty Yah. Hallelujah. Guidance and protection.